Tracy, are you set?
I am ready.
Great. All right. Let's go on record in proceeding number 25C-0312-INS. And Kelly Rosenberg, the administrative law judge assigned to this proceeding. This is the commission standing show cause insurance hearing set by notices and complaints to individual respondents. At this time, I would like to take appearances, and let's start with staff.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Justin Larson, Assistant Attorney General with the Colorado Department of Law. With me, as always, is Staff Witness Marquita Riley.
Good afternoon to you. And it doesn't look like we have any other any respondents that have shown up. And if anybody does, we will take it from there. But just a quick advisement, just to remind all the parties that it is a commission's practice to record and webcast legal proceedings, including this one. And we have a court reporter recording every word. And I think actually with that, staff, go ahead and call Ms. Riley.
Thank you, Your Honor. Staff calls Marquita Riley.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Great. Go ahead, Mr. Larson.
Thank you. Afternoon, Ms. Riley. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Marquita Riley, Marquita Riley.
Who's your current employer?
The Public Utilities Commission.
What's your job title with the commission?
I'm the Program Assistant for the Transportation Unit.
And what is your role in today's proceeding?
I review the commission records and coordinate with staff for these proceedings against motor carriers that do not have current effective levels of financial responsibility on file with the commission.
Do the commission's rules require motor carriers to file evidence of financial responsibility?
Yes.
And can you just tell us which rules impose this requirement?
Yes. Per Rule 6008 require that motor carriers maintain and file evidence of financial responsibility.
And what specifically needs to be provided in order to show financial responsibility?
Per Rule 6008, motor carriers must electronically file. An example would be a Form E as evidence of financial responsibility.
And how long does this evidence of financial responsibility remain in effect?
Per Rule 6008 requires that each insurance company give the commission a 30-day advance written notice when insurance is not being renewed or if it's being canceled.
What is the next step when the PUC receives a notification of cancellation or non-renewal?
I use the commission's OpRights database to compile a list of motor carriers that we receive advance written notice of cancellation.
Thanks, Ms. Riley. And before we get into the exhibits, can you just state whether the exhibits for today's hearing were provided to the respondents?
Yes, they were.
And can you just briefly describe how that was done?
I created a list of permit numbers and emails provided from the respondents. I then emailed that list over to the AG's office. The AG's office then pre-filed the exhibits and emailed the respondents, and they copied me on the email as well.
Thanks. Can we please pull up what has been pre-marked as Staff's Hearing Exhibit 1? Thank you. Can you see that, Ms. Riley?
Yes, I can.
Can you describe this document?
Yes, this is the initial hearing cycle listing that contains the names of the motor carriers that the commission received notice that their financial responsibility was going to expire.
Did you prepare this list?
Yes, I did.
How did you prepare it?
I used the commission's OpRights database.
And did you prepare it on that date that's at the bottom right-hand corner there?
Yes, July 21st, 2025.
Thank you. Does the commission create a hearing cycle listing like the one we see here as part of its regular course of business?
Yes.
And is the commission's practice to maintain documents like this and it's as the commission's business record?
Yes.
Move to admit Exhibit 1, Your Honor.
Admitted.
Now, based on the list that we see up here, Ms. Riley, what action did the commission take?
The commission then sent a letter to each respondent.
Can we please pull up what has been pre-marked as Staff's Hearing Exhibit 2? Thank you. Can you see that, Ms. Riley?
Yes.
And can you describe what this collection of documents is?
Yes, these are copies of the letters sent to the respondents on today's updated list.
What does the information in the letters tell the respondents, just in summary?
The letter explains that all operation under its authority are suspended as of the date the insurance expires, unless proof of proper insurance is submitted to the commission. It also provides notice of today's hearing and advises the respondents that if proper evidence of financial responsibility is not submitted to the commission, then its authority may be permanently revoked.
When did the commission send these letters?
On July 21st, 2025.
Is it the commission's practice to create letters like these in the regular course of its business?
Yes,
And is it the commission's practice to maintain that letters like Exhibit 2 as part of its the commission's business record?
yes,
Move to admit Exhibit 2, Your Honor.
Admitted.
Now, Ms. Riley, does the commission require motor carriers to establish and maintain a designated agent?
yes. Per Rule 6006 requires that the motor carriers establish and maintain a designated agent.
Were these notice letters that we see in Exhibit 2 sent to the addresses of the designated agents on file with the commission for each respondent?
Yes,
And how did the commission serve these letters?
through first-class postal mail.
Can we please pull up now what's been pre-marked as staff hearing Exhibit 3? Can you describe this document, Ms. Riley?
Yes, this is the attachment that was sent along with the notice letters in here in Exhibit 2. It contains information on how to participate in today's video conference hearing.
When was this attachment sent to the respondents?
On July 21st, 2025.
Is it the commission's practice to include this attachment with the notification letters to the respondents when it holds an electronic hearing like it is today?
Yes,
Excuse me. Did the commission create this attachment in the regular course of its business?
yes,
Is it the commission's practice to maintain attachments like Exhibit 3 in the regular course of the commission's business record?
yes,
Move to admit Exhibit 3, Your Honor.
Admitted.
If we can please now pull up what's been pre-marked as staff's hearing Exhibit 4. Thank you. Can you describe this document, Ms. Riley?
yes. This is the certificate of service for the notice letters and attachments sent to the respondents.
Did the commission create the certificate in the regular course of its business?
Yes,
Is it the practice of the commission to maintain certificates like this in the commission's business record?
yes,
Move to admit Exhibit 4, Your Honor.
Admitted.
Now, Ms. Riley, just to point to some of the language on the certificate, it says, quote, whose name and addresses appear below, end quote. Below that, it says, quote, see hearing cycle listing. Are these statements referring to the original hearing cycle listing that we saw in Exhibit 1?
yes,
And going back to hearing Exhibit 2, and we don't need to pull it up, the notice letter, it informs respondents about what happens if they can provide evidence of insurance or surety coverage before the hearing. So if the commission does receive evidence of insurance or surety coverage, what happens then?
we dismiss that carrier. We do not proceed against that carrier and we dismiss them from the hearing cycle listing.
Did staff create an updated hearing cycle listing for today's hearing?
Yes,
Can we please pull up what's been pre-marked as staff's hearing Exhibit 5? Thank you. Can you describe what this document is, Ms. Riley?
yes, this is the updated hearing cycle listing for today's date. It contains the names of the respondents that we still not have proof of financial responsibility.
Did staff create this list the same way as you described for hearing Exhibit 1?
Yes,
So you created this document?
yes, I did.
And again, that's on the date that's at the bottom right-hand corner there.
Yes, August 11th, 2025.
Did the commission create this hearing cycle listing in the regular course of its business?
Yes,
Is it the commission's practice to maintain the updated hearing cycle listing like Exhibit 5 as part of the commission's business record?
yes.
Move to admit Exhibit 5, Your Honor.
Admitted.
Now, Ms. Riley, did staff send a letter to all of the carriers listed in hearing Exhibit 5?
Yes,
Do the addresses listed in hearing Exhibit 5 match the carrier's addresses in Exhibit 2, all the notice letters?
yes.
When is the last time you checked to see if there was any change in the status of the carriers in Exhibit 5?
This morning, August 13th, 2025.
Are you aware of any pending applications, either for suspension or abandonment, affecting any of the common or contract carriers in Exhibit 5?
We don't have any pending applications for this proceeding.
Does staff recommend dismissing any of the carriers in Exhibit 5? And if so, just go ahead and state which ones.
Yes, I do have a few. Prestige Transit LLC, PUC number LL-03935. HMA LLC, PUC number LL-03781. DDG Transportation LLC, PUC number LL-0428, sorry. Insurance was updated for those companies. And then also Colorado Limo LLC, PUC number LL-03819, they submitted a cancellation form.
Are you aware of any letters that were returned to the commission?
We don't have any return mail for this proceeding.
Thanks. So just in conclusion, Ms. Riley, can you state when the decision that's made after today's hearing becomes a final commission decision?
The recommended decision would become a final commission order decision 20 days after the administrative law judge issues the recommended decision if no exceptions are filed.
And what happens if a carrier provides proof of insurance before the decision becomes a final order?
Then the recommended decision will not be enforced against that respondent.
Can you just summarize staff's overall recommendation for today?
Yes, staff recommends that the certificate of permit numbers listed on here in Exhibit 5 be revoked for lack of financial responsibility as required by law, except for Prestige Transit LLC, HMA Limo LLC, Colorado Limo LLC, and DDG Transportation LLC.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. I have nothing further, Your Honor, and staff rests if there are no further questions. We can also take that exhibit down. My apologies.
Thank you. And I have no questions for you, Ms. Bradley. Thank you for your time. If you don't mind sticking around a minute, we may need your expertise potentially. I see that we did have a respondent join. The individual identified as Mike. Are you able to state your name for the record and which company you're here on behalf of?
My name is Michael Thomas Brown, and I'm on behalf of Grand Mountain Rides LLC.
Can you restate the name of that company for me?
Grand Mountain Rides LLC.
Thank you. And do you wish to testify today?
I at least wish to give a statement today for sure.
Okay, and before we do that, and it hasn't ever been an issue before, but ordinarily companies need to have attorneys represent them, but there are exceptions to that. And so I just need to make sure that you qualify for one of the exceptions. Does Grand Mountain LLC have three or fewer owners?
I'm the owner.
And so then you do have authority to speak on behalf of your company, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Well, then before you give your statement, just a little bit of an advisement here. You could potentially be subject to cross-examination questions from Mr. Larson, who is he's the attorney representing staff in this matter. And I'm going to swear you in, and then you could go ahead and give your statement. If you don't mind raising your right hand. And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I absolutely do.
Go ahead then. Go ahead and tell us your statement.
Okay. So my statement would be, we've been with the same agent for 6 years. I thought she was on the up and up, and it ended up being that she wasn't. Unfortunately, we got ourselves into a bad spot because of that. And we do have a new agent. We do plan to file insurance Form E with that gentleman here in the next 24 hours, we'll say. Um, it will be completely covered. We had no idea that this was even an issue until the airport brought it to our attention. And then about 2 hours later, the PUC emailed us and saying it was an issue. And like we had no idea that this was even happening. When I finally did get a hold of my rogue agent, she said she had 12 hours notice of this, which we've been told up and down that was absolutely no way that was the case. That's one of the reasons we're changing agents. I completely understand of the importance of having insurance and making sure that all the forms are filed correctly and everything. And unfortunately, like literally, we had no like even forewarnance of like this situation. We did not get a notice from the PUC. However, that's probably due to them sending it to our physical address, even though in the mountains here we all have PO boxes. I'm sure they have it on file. Um, but we did not get any like notice of cancellation or anything from them until I got an email yesterday from them saying that I needed to be at this hearing. And so I'm here at this hearing. We are changing agents, and it is due to her. I don't know if it's just because she's on her way out and ready to retire or what the situation was, but like we have always operated for the last 6 years underneath the realm of the law, and we had no idea that this was even an issue.
Okay, thank you. I have a couple of things, and the first one is just to let you know, Ms. Riley, is there a form that Mr. Brown can fill out to ensure that he has the correct address on file with the PUC for future reference?
Yes, I was just in the process of looking it up. It looks like the letter was sent to the physical address, but I can email you a form so that we could get that updated in our system,
Yeah,
updated contact form.
that would be great. I mean, we do still have the same physical office address, but in the mountains, we do not get mail if it's mailed to the physical address. Unfortunately, it generally ends up getting sent back, but we have a PO box up here. So the only way if you're mailing USPS is gonna come to our PO box, and without if you mailed it to a physical address, it would have never received to us.
Okay, I will email you that form. Just fill it out and email it back to me directly, and I'll get that updated in our system.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Riley. And then secondly, I just wanted to let you know, I'm not sure if you heard Ms. Riley's testimony, but it sounds to me, based on what you said, that you will get this issue resolved within the next 20 days. The decision
No,
that
within the next 24 hours.
exactly. And the reason I
Yes.
said 20 days is because that's the timing before the decision that I will draft becomes final. And there
Okay.
will be language in the decision that says that if somebody has updated their information in that interim period between the date of the decision and the date it becomes final, it will not apply to your business. So as long as you do take care of it in the next 20 days, and honestly, it's more like 27 days, then you should be fine. But please, it's in your best interest to do it, as you said, within the next 24 hours as you said you intend to do.
100%.
Great. Okay. And do you have anything else?
No, I mean, not really. It was just like, eh, I'm in awe that we're even at this point. Like, we found out from the airport about a week ago that we were, deemed, I guess, what was it, suspended by the PUC, which like completely floored us. Like, we had no idea whatsoever that this was coming, that this was happening, or anything like that. And we always try and, like, I guess, operate within the limits of the law. And we've always, for 6 years now, always had insurance and everything else. And I'm not sure what happened to our insurance agent or anything like that. I've texted her, I've emailed her, and she just went rogue. I just don't even know how else to describe it.
Understood. Well, good. It sounds like you have a plan path forward and you'll get it worked out. So thank you for your time today. Um, and it looks like we don't have any other respondents who have joined us. So I want to thank everyone for their time today. I will take this matter under advisement and we'll issue a written decision. And at this time, we'll go ahead and go off the record. Thank you, everyone.
And just to confirm, as long as it's taken care of within the next 24 hours, that's well within the 20 days, and we will be 100% like reinstated to operate within the state of Colorado. Is that correct?
Well, I can't speak as I probably yes. I don't know, the status of everything else with you, but in terms of insurance, your insurance will be current if you get that uploaded properly.
And then Marquita, you've always been amazing to work with and everything. I think I've only met you via email. But like, would you agree with that statement? As long as I get you that Form E through my new agent here in the next 24 hours, we'll be good to go.
Yes, and you can always call me or email me directly and I'll just give you that information. But as long as we get that insurance updated, you'll be right back active and in good standing.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
Of course.
Bye.
Bye.
Fucking American Express. Go fucking finger.